Today we're going to be doing technical analysis for the pound JPY, pound USD, USD.CAD, and the USD.JPY. All right, I might throw in maybe a gold in there or a crypto, but let's see how it goes. Anyways, from last week, our trade recaps were pretty straightforward. Still on the pound here. I am still looking at the scenario. I might just have to clear out the entire screen. So we start at fresh with a pound, okay? Pound USD. On the 30 minutes charts, I start with the top down analysis on the 4 minutes chart, 4 hours, sorry. We got a 4 hour right there. And if you look at this very closely, we have broke through or broke above or below an uptrend, all right? Price basically broke below this price range right here. And if you look at this right now, this is acting as a resistance at 134.22 is resistance. If you look at this, go to the past, you realize it's almost the same aligning here, 134. This should be 134. Let's see what this is. Support 134.43 and 134.94. Okay, so these two areas are now acting as resistance to this pair. Okay, so seeing that, I am not a trendline trader, but the trendline gives you exactly where price is headed. All right, so looking at this, we got 3 touch points. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th one. Okay, and we have resistance right here on this right now. Okay, if I zoom out on this on the 4 hours, we still have a resistance. You see that resistance. 2 touch points of resistance, and now it's support. This area was previous support or resistance that turned to support here, and now we are hoping this area acts as support again. But given that we have broken through the trend line heading down, I think what we could be seeing on this pair in the upcoming session would be for this pair to retest the resistance. Resistance is going to be here. I'll pull that up right now. Give me a second there. I'll bring that to 1 hour, all the time frame, to see what the resistances are. The resistance right now is either going to be 2 points. We have tested that twice already. We have tested resistance here twice, and it didn't break. Okay, this resistance did not break. Surprise, was falling here, broke the downtrend. We tested this 2 times, 1, 2, and that didn't go through. I think, but the most important resistance here is going to be up here at this point. To me, it would be 136.04. This is where we can have a very tough resistance. And why is that? If you see in the past year, we had price come here twice or more than 5 times and couldn't break above it, right? So this analysis is exactly the same analysis I had from last time, all right? And still, now this area now becomes another resistance. If prices to retrace back here, you want to look for sales back to this support, okay? So basically on the pound, we're still hoping, maybe not, that this area holds as support. If it does hold a support, then price will retrace here. We're going to look for sales because in the past, this area was resistance, and the buyers or the sellers are most likely going to respect this. If we go to the 30 minutes where I had my entry points, my sales and buy zones, you will see that this area is almost a drop-based drop area, okay? So we have here price dropped, then the big sale came from here. All right, which means we have a drop-based drop area, and you know what drop-based drop area means? For supply areas, it means price goes back to that zone. You want to look for sales, okay? Basically, what I would say is, if price can break above this red line here, if price can break above this here, I'll put this here, above this line, we're going to have a move to the upside to this resistance here, okay? So put this in your charts. 136.000 or 136.20 is top resistance for the pound USD. And for my buy zones, I'm looking at this support here. It's a very tough support if you go all the way back to the past because it was resistance before. Now it's acting as support. All right. So if we should draw a line here, this could be a resistance zone where price might make a double bottom or something like a double bottom and shoot back up to this supply zone here. So looking at this, I will mark this as green because, hold on, I'll leave this color right here just in case. All right. This is not a buy zone for me, it's just a support area. Okay. Support on the pound there, and for the buy area, I marked this out last time, is basically going to be this box here. Now, I don't draw specific candles on charts and say, hey, buy from this candle up, because market doesn't move like that, right? The market doesn't respect candles or wicks and all those things. But still, the candles can speak to you. Some of people trade candles and all that. But I'm looking for a buy in this area. What will happen is if price is to break through this support area here, if price is to go from here instead and go down, I'm looking for this to be a little consolidation before price shoots back up to this zone here. Because if price breaks below this, this becomes resistance, right? But if we were to stay above, if we were to just mitigate this and stay and do that, if price does this and goes up, then looking for sell. If price is to do this instead and drops down, I'm looking for a buy in this area and I take it up from here. Okay, that's what I see on the pound, the USD pound. Um, I'm gonna mark the zones so everyone can see them very clearly. I was gonna get rid of this. Okay, that's clear. So looking at this now, basically in the pound USD, we have our buy area here. Why is it a buy area? Support, support, support. Basically, we see this was an area of consolidation, or better yet, this was an area of consolidation. The price consolidated almost for almost a week or so. All right, and given that fact, it means there are buyers willing, having orders here willing to go up. So if you look at this, price actually left the consolidation area, came back and retested it. So price left here, came back from here, retested this area, which was part of its consolidation, and went back up. Okay, so we're looking for price to do the same thing. Maybe price right now is still acting from this zone. All right, if we have to go below that zone, the next option for buys on this pair will probably be all the way down here. Down here on this demand zone here. This could be a little bit of this demand zone, but not so sure. But we're looking at price kind of all the way down here for liquidity grab. Okay. Still, we are on a very bearish trend on the pound, and we're looking for this to dump further, so to speak. All right. So we have these two zones on the pound. All right, which are buy areas to me. Okay. That being said, coming week or for the coming session, this is what you want to look for at the pound or on the pound is this area here for sales. Here, sell short, drop, base, drop, zone. Okay, so you have that there. You can put them in charts and just mark them in weight. Here we have another resistance area. So resistance, resistance, that's good. Resistance zone, sell short. Okay, but above, expect supply at 3600, give or take it. 1.3600. Okay, so that's what I see here I'll mark this up for you guys. Now we have support here. Support. You can see what I'm doing there. Support area. Look for buys below. Expect demand. Okay, so that's what I have here. My demand zones will be right here for everyone to see. Okay, demand zone by long to some previous support. All right, so pound JPY, so pound USD price is falling down on the 30 minutes, on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour have a downtrend, on the 30 minutes have a downtrend still. But price has broken over the downtrend on the 30 minutes, which is a little bit of a hopeful thing that we may have to try retest the sell area here, okay? So that's it for the pound. You got any questions, leave it in the comments. I will answer your questions on the pound USD. Let's move on to Great British Pound, Japanese Yen. And for that, I still have the same setup basically on this one. But given that this was our previous week setup where we're expecting price would drop from here, which it actually did, and bounce up from these areas, which are actually marked up here already. And now we're still at this resistance zone, okay? So I'm going to clear this out to get a clear and fresh perspective on what we should be looking at on pound JPY, okay? Pound JPY 4 hour, we are in contact with this resistance. It's been hard for this to break. Okay, make that right there. Stop resistance zone for this pair. And if I want to look for where the supply will be at, I'm gonna give my supply right here, drop base drop. So I'll just clone this. I have a drop base drop area here, supply zone for this pair. That will be at 122, 122.09 or 123.09 or 122.09. Any of those numbers is good. Okay, but right now we're acting on this here. Another this is actually a rally based rally, but it became resistance because the support down here turned into resistance, right? So the price is mitigating these two areas. Now we are in an uptrend on this pair on the 4 hour. Okay, if I line this up like this, it means I'm basically we're expecting price to come a little bit down again to grab some buy orders, which will mean my support will be at 195 on the 4 hour. Okay, I'll have this as support area for this pair. Take a little bit up here, 196, 89 to 195. All right, for the upcoming week. Will the price come down to this area? I'm not very sure. But as long as this resistance is holding, there's a high probability we could come down here to retest this support area, okay? Going down at 30 minutes time frame, we could see on the 30 minutes that our support area also merges with the buy zone here. Price took off really fast from this area, which means if price is to return here, we had this move, price took off. We have to price to return, then take it up from there. Okay, but looking at that, we can also see that we have support area here. The support has been holding for the whole week. It was marked in my previous analysis. Okay, price didn't break through the support, but still, as long as this is a resistance, there's a high chance we get down here. Okay, I'm gonna zoom this out and give you guys another area of support in between this box, which brings me to this zone here at 199.09. But right now we are at 199.55, give or take. But it's in the sell area, it's in the sell zone. So a retracement towards this area could give us a buy probability. Okay, we could buy here for this, but Omega is clean and simple on this pair. As long as there's a resistance here, we could come down here. Okay, as long as this area is resistance, price will shoot down either here or all the way down here. So either price, one second there, I'll just have to redo this. So as long as this is resistance, okay, as long as this acts as resistance, as long as we cannot go above this, minute, as long as price cannot go above this area, there's a high chance will come down here, either here, do a little bit of that and go up. If we cannot do this on this pair the coming few days, then what I would think will happen will be for price to maybe down here, do a little bit of that. Okay, consolidation comes down to this area, buys, let's get loaded up and we go up. All right. But seeing this as it is, price already did a double. This is like a resistance or support zone. So hopefully price can break below this resistance here for us to maybe retest the 200 on this pair. All right. But no one knows what the market is going to do. We can only hope and make our plans. All right. That being said, that's what I see for the pound JPY. Picture perfect. Resistance zone, as long as we stay here, we're not going nowhere. If we break above the zone, then we're coming all the way back to retest 201 and 203 because there's basically no obstacle on the way here. And what on profile is called a skinny belly. The skinny belly means there's no obstacle from above this, right? So once price mitigates above this, if you look here in the past, what happened was price just basically flew down from here after this consolidation. There was no obstacle and price just went straight down, okay? Which means if price is to come back up, it's going to also just move in a direction where nothing can stop it till this area. So price will just, if price takes this as a resistance and it breaks above it, that's what you get, right? You get it to the zone because it's only at the zone where there was some kind of a hesitation for price, but below the zone, there's nothing. See, price did absolutely nothing here, which means a return, a break above this to this area is where you can look for sales, where you can have a good risky reward where you can get like the 100 pip for sales back to support area here, right? So basically resistance above this, then we can come back down and retest this resistance and support, then take it from there. Okay, so that's what I have for the pound JPY. Let's move on to I'll bring this back here just so in case you see that. So let us move on to USD.CAD. USD.CAD, extend that. We are still on a little bit of this little box from our previous analysis. I'll clean this out so you can see. If you haven't watched my other videos on this pair, you can go back and watch them. We came up from this box here, basically consolidation, and price really hasn't gone anywhere for almost 2 weeks on this consolidation. But last week, Wednesday or Thursday, I think, price broke above this level, came back and retested it, and it's retesting this supply here, resistance actually. If you go on the 4-hour, you see that we have a resistance zone here. Two resistance zones. One is right here, 137, and price is actually having a difficult time going above that area. Okay, resistance because see, support turns resistance, give or take, right? It was support zone before, support here, now has become resistance, right? So we want to wait for price to mitigate these areas, get the buy areas or the buy zones, and the next support or the next area for sales will be located right above the zone here at, I think I have this at 138.48 if price is to break above this resistance. Okay, on the 30 minutes, where I look for my areas to buy. As long as we're still above this box, we're looking for buys. Okay, so I can extend this box and you will see a little bit of a demand zone here where if price returns, you want to look for buys here. If price does not return, well, then we're going up. Another demand zone on this pair is also found right in the bottom here. Another demand zone is found here where you can look for price. If price comes down to this area next week, we should look for buys. Okay, is that gonna happen? We never know. Market moves the way it moves, right? And it's we have like economic as political brawls going on in the between Canada and USA right now. So this pair doesn't have a difficult time to move or moving. But still keep our eyes on this buy area, sales and sales. Basically that. Okay. As long as we stay below or above this support zone, we're looking for buys. If we break below the zone, as long as price is here, we're looking for buys to this area, all right? But if price is to break below this support like this and come down here, then this becomes the play. Price comes here, goes back, and you take it from there to short. All right, this area now becomes resistance. Okay, now we're gonna move to the USD.JPY. The US dollar is very strong right now, and we've already done a past week review on this, and price actually mitigated, came down as we projected it, and went back up. So I'm going to clear this out. This was last week, but now the plan still remains almost the same. And the fact that we created a demand zone here on this last move, 147.90. This is an area where if you buy, you might have a move up, right? Demand zone was created. And we also have another support area here. And with that, we have a resistance area here. This is a 30-minute chart, okay? Resistance over here. I don't like this. I always prefer the arrow. So resistance, as long as price stays below this, you can expect the support or the demand area at 147.88. If you go on the 4-hour, you can actually see exactly what I'm talking about here in the 4-hour. I move this all the way here. Support, then resistance, right? We had a support zone here. And now price broke below it, so now it becomes resistance. That's basically my theory on this. Now, if we break below or above this resistance, my next area of interest on this pair will be at 150. So this support or resistance support here. So this right here will be another resistance area, the 151. Okay. So a break above this area brings up to this area here, which should be a move like this. A break above this brings us here, and we come back down and we test this area now that it becomes support. Okay, so keep your eyes out on this pair. We're gonna have a good move on this pair in the coming week. And as I said, as long as we stay below this resistance, price might basically move down to grab more liquidity before we can retest the supplies up here. All right, so buy zones all marked up for you. You can put this in your charts. Oh, that's not right. You can mark this up on your charts. Buy zones would be in this area is at 147.84. To take it from there. So a good retracement is needed for this pair to move. If we cannot retrace, then we're going nowhere. Okay. And I think I tried it on the 4-hour already. Do we break the trend here on the 4-hour? It's up trend, give or take, in contact with support. And now we are in contact with the resistance. All right. So that's all I have for you guys today. I want you guys already grab any questions you have in the comment section. And I'm looking to grow this channel to 100 subscribers before the end of this month. So the first 100 subscribers will get free entry into my Discord channel, where I'll be providing free signals, buy and sell signals on this pair which I trade, and also a free entry into my Telegram channel, where I give you free training or trading videos like this, and you'll be the first to know when I release signals for you to get into the market or get out of the market. All right. So this is trading talking charts. Follow me on TradingView on the Trading Bee and YouTube on Talking Charts. Any questions, leave in the comments. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.